What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I want to sit down and talk about the major Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 news from this past week that was announced during a Fire's live stream. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, in the description below I'll have two things. One, the hour-long recap of the live stream that showed up Merge Zamasu or Fuse Zamasu and Vegeta Blue, which I have on the background right now as I'm recording this because I was just playing. And two, the actual announcement video. If you want to see either or, it'll be in the description below, but you don't really have to watch those because I'll summarize it. Basically, we got a word from the producer of the Xenoverse series, Hirano-san, that they're going to continue updating Xenoverse 2, which is wild considering the fact that they only promised to update the game for a year after release, and they gave us a year and a half. Now we're going beyond that to potentially 2 years, with no idea how many more DLCs planned, but that's not the big news. The big news is the fact that they actually put their balls on the table, like literally they put their balls on the table and then address the elephant in the room, the netcode. Now if you guys remember, which I'm sure everybody who's played Xenoverse at some point knows, has run into it at some point, the netcode is pretty much god-awful in Xenoverse. I mean, if you get into a match where it's like a good connection, let's say someone that lives close by, which also can vary at times, it can be really, really fun. Like, I know when I fight against Syriax, who lives fairly close to me, not like close, but he lives like one state away, it works almost flawlessly. I mean, the netcode can get hiccups here and there, but for the most part, it works as it should be intended. However, when I fight my homie Lotus, who lives literally across the country, it doesn't work. If I fight my homies in the UK, it doesn't work. If I fight my homies in Australia, you get the point. It doesn't work. There's so many times where I'll be flying around and I get literally stamina broken from across the map. Like, I can literally just do a stamina break right now and you would break. Like, you're totally broken right now. That's how bad the netcode was over the course of the past 2 games, really. Mostly in Xenoverse 2, where it became an issue with the introduction of stuff like stamina break. But the netcode was also wonky in Xenoverse 1. With that said, they did nothing to address it, and the big controversy with Extra Pack 1 and Extra Pack 2, or DLC 5 and 6, was the fact that they're shelling out new content, making us pay for it, but they're not addressing the big issues. They did, in their defense, they did actually address a handful of issues since release, so I gotta give them respect to that, but the big ones like the netcode, they stayed quiet. They just completely stayed quiet, and they got to the point where it was like, we don't want to keep giving you money. Like, come on, man, just, I guess, abandon Xenoverse 2 and give us Xenoverse 3, and please, for the love of God, fix it then. But they're not going to do that. They're actually not going to turn it back on Xenoverse 2, which is highly respectable, and they're actually going to work on fixing that first before going to the next game. As you guys know, the rumors have been saying that Xenoverse 3 isn't even in development yet, and a lot of people were wondering why, because Xenoverse 2 is done. They released Extra Pack 1 and 2 a couple months ago. What are they doing? Turns out they've been actually working on skill balances and the netcode to improve that first before they go into the next game, which is a big deal. So, and I saw a lot of people saying stuff like, just leave Xenoverse 2 alone, go into Xenoverse 3. I mean, yeah, I would love to see Xenoverse 3 at some point, but if they can go ahead and address the code now, make it better so we have something to play while Xenoverse 3 is in development, that's actually a lot better. On top of that, technically, that's going to go into the development of Xenoverse 3 as well, so they'll take that code and make it even better in the next game. So the fact that they're actually taking time out to address something that, I know it should have been done forever ago, but at least they're doing it, I think it's highly respectable. And on top of that, it will overall make Xenoverse 3 better if we get to the point. Now, here's the reason why it's a big deal. It is officially on record. Prior to this, they have never addressed it. If you tweeted at Bandai or if you talk to support, they never really said anything about the netcode, just because it's one of those things that's really, really hard to, like, address, just because when you incorporate so many different connections, it can get really, really wonky. But then again, some games got it right. Why can't Xenoverse get it right? So it's like no excuse there. But if you guys remember, back in December, me and a couple friends, Syriax, Kagi, Thundershot, Fantastic Afro, a couple guys got a chance to sit down with the producers to actually talk about a bunch of issues that you guys shown us over the course of the last year, and we basically showed them hands-on, like, yo, look at this video, look at this netcode, look at this attack, look what's happening here. Like, we kind of like showed them everything that the community has submitted, and this is not like something that we did as, us as a group. I'm talking about us as a community, because you guys have sent emails, you guys have sent tweets, you guys have sent so much feedback to them as well, to the point where it's like they got a huge wave of like feedback from all of us around the world that they have to do something. And then of course when we were there in person and showing the videos, it was like, look, man, you got to do something. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I gave up on the Xenoverse netcode fix around the release of DLC 6. Because we did this meeting in December, and by the time DLC 6 came out, nothing was even addressed, nothing was shown, no messages. I assumed that's it. They're probably gonna go into Xenoverse 3 maybe, and that's it. But I was wrong. Turns out they actually took all of that feedback over the course of the past year and a half, 2 years, from us, from you guys, from around the world, and they actually have been trying to figure out how to make it better. Now, here's the thing. This is kind of where it gets very, very important. I don't know what this means for the future of Xenoverse as a series. Because let's say this. Now that they've gone on record and showed off that, they're working on the netcode, they're working on skill balances to kind of make it more fair and playable online, what does it mean if they fail? Like, the way I see it is, it's like, if you come on record and say, hey, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z, and you don't do X, Y, and Z, I don't see a future in the series anymore. So the thing that I was kind of thinking about is, what if they fail? Does that mean we want to get Xenoverse 3? I don't want to, like, scare anybody by saying that, but it's the first thing that came to mind. Because, like, think about it. If the producer of the series gives you a word that they're gonna fix something and it doesn't get fixed, do you buy the next game? Probably not, because you officially lost trust. So this means that they have to put all their balls on the table, like I said, to make sure they can address it. So it's a good thing. It's a good and bad thing, obviously. The bad thing is if they can't fix it, I don't know what that means for the future of the series. But the good thing is it shows you how serious they are. Very rarely will you see a producer or like a developer or whatever sit in front of a camera and address issues and confirm that X, Y, and Z is actually wrong. So the fact that they did that, it's a big deal, and it could potentially be very, very life-changing for the Xenoverse series and overall for the longevity of the series as well, which is like good. But again, the bad thing is if they can't actually deliver on it, I don't know where the future of the series is going. So with that said, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the overall announcement with the Xenoverse series and where it's going in the future. What you personally love to see, since we're talking about everything as far as, you know, the future of the series, what I want you to do is comment number 1. What your overall, I guess, feedback is, or I guess, what's the word? Desire. What's your overall desire with the netcode changes? 2, what are some skill balances and nerfs that you personally want to see? And 3, since we're obviously getting more DLC, what DLC characters would you love to see? I mean, I think I did a video with Dion, which he posted already. If not, he should be posting soon. No, he did post it. He posted yesterday, where we talked about our favorite DLC characters that we'd love to see in the game, and I talked about how I would love to see stuff like Pycon and Baby Vegeta. Some older characters in there as well, on top of the new ones like Topo, for example. But also, I think later today or tomorrow or the next couple of days, we made another video talking about skill balances as well. So if you want to like send your own feedback down below as well, let me know what you guys want to see as a community and what this actually means for you. Do you even care? I mean, for all I know, a lot of you guys are probably like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. I'm not even playing this anymore. I'm playing Dragon Ball Legends. I'm playing Fighters. I'm going back and playing Dragon Ball Sagas instead of playing Xenoverse 2. By all means, do what you gotta do, but I still want to hear your feedback if you happen to take time to watch this video, and I would love to see how you feel about this announcement. Like I said, it's a big deal, and I had no idea this was happening, because like, initially, I was brought out to do the live stream for Vegito Blue and for Fusamasu. It wasn't until the night before where Bayonat tweeted, by the way, wink wink, there's a new announcement as well. I immediately hit him up. I was like, should I know about this? Like, what's the deal? Because usually, like, prior to going to these live streams, they always show me, like, small stuff, but not like everything. So it's like, yeah, by the way, this is what you're going to talk about, because you gotta be kind of prepared. But for this one, they wouldn't tell me anything. So I was like, well, it's probably just going to be DLC, which is great because more content. But at the same time, after that first week, it's like, same issues. I mean, that's a big problem with the Xenoverse DLC for the past year and a half. Is like, new content comes out, you get super hype, you get new characters, you get new costumes, and you get story stuff. But after that, like a week later, it just goes back to the same problems where it's like, I'm getting stamina broke from across the map, and I'm just annoyed. Because all it takes is that one bad experience in a Xenoverse fight for you to just drop the game for the rest of the day. Because like, I can play this game for hours, but the second I get my stamina broken from across the map, or some BS habits where I clearly connect an attack and it doesn't actually connect, I get annoyed and I put the controller down. And that's the big problem with the game. But like, you know, I had no idea this is happening. So when I sat down there, I was expecting them to be all talk about DLC 7, DLC 8, and perhaps even more. But in reality, what we got was the big elephant in the room finally addressed when they talked about the fact that the netcode is going to get fixed, and the fact that they are going to balance out the skills. Hopefully they don't ruin stuff. The thing that Dims just does not know how to do, and I'm sorry, Dims, if you happen to have somebody from Dims watching this, you guys don't know how to do this. A lot of times they have taken moves and completely ran them into the ground to the point where they were useless. And I understand, you know, people will figure out how to abuse stuff, but that doesn't mean, you know, you should completely run like half that equation or both equations to the ground by just completely making it useless. You guys remember what happened to Super Electric Strike in Xenoverse 1? It was a great move. To dodge it, all you literally had to do was either fly up or fly down. And what they ended up doing is they completely ran that move into the ground to the point where it was almost useless. And it just, I hope that doesn't happen as far as skill balances. But the big one for me definitely is I want to see them fixing netcode, because again, if you can make the game playable, I will play it daily. I love this Xenoverse series. It's like my second favorite game right next to Fighters. And prior to Fighters coming out, it was my favorite Dragon Ball game of all time, which I know is controversial, but hey, it's my opinion. But if they can make the netcode work, we're talking about a series that's going to be ongoing for a very, very long time. But at the same time, if they don't fix it, potentially a bad thing for the future of the series. I think, at least. For all I know, they could also fix it, and not actually fix it, and still do Xenoverse 3. I mean, I'm just kind of speculating off of like how I feel about the situation overall. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section below, and then we can try to see what you guys prefer. Also, one last thing I want to ask you guys: between the three, I guess major points that they're trying to target, what do you care about the most? DLC? Do you care more about the netcode fix or the skill balances? And let me know what you guys think with that. In fact, I will do a poll as well in the top corner that asks what you guys care about more, and I'm curious to see what you guys are actually going to go for the most. And I feel like netcode's being the #1 thing, but I know a lot of you guys also care about the skill balances as well, because there's also nothing more annoying than getting that one super attack that hits you and then there goes all your health because of like how you can combine stuff together. Like, for example, cross arm dive. Not a big fan of that move, and I think it does way too much damage for a freaking melee attack. But whatever. Point is, what do you guys care about the most? Let me know in the comment section below. The second we hear any information in regards to these patches and the future DLCs, I'll let you guys know. I have no idea what's planned. I assume they're going to probably go for either 3rd quarter or 4th quarter, who knows? Which could also be potentially too late, but again, better late than never. I'd rather them address it now, so we have something, and then they can work on the next game freely without having any guilt of, you know, the issues that have currently been plaguing the game. With that said, I've already talked way too long about this. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below, and I guess we can talk about it as a community. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day. My name is Rhymestyle, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.